China isn't one of those countries that you just rock up to without proper planning and research. So,
here are the important things that you need to note before planning that trip to China.
all right. Hi everyone, I'm Tommy Daniels.
And I'm Shay Daniels.
And today we're going to be sharing with you some very, very important things to note before visiting China.
The People's Republic of China.
Okay, all right. Number one is the apps that you need to be aware of and the apps that you need to get. All right, what are those apps?
So first thing you need to note is that quite a lot of apps do not work in China. So you need to get a way around it. The first one is you need a VPN app that works. And don't ask me which one, just try it out. Secondly,
you need to get download the Didi app, DIDI, and you need this for taxes, and there's also a version that you can use for food deliveries. So there's no Uber in China, so don't get there and be surprised or be stranded at the airport.
yeah. Third app you need to get is the Google Translate app or any translation app, except your first language is Mandarin, because the people of China speak Mandarin and only Mandarin.
Yes, it can get very difficult to communicate without a translator app or without understanding of Mandarin. So make sure you figure that out before you arrive in China. So the next app that you need to be aware of and you need to get is Alipay or any payment platform. So this could also be WeChat. However, we chose Alipay because it was easier to do. I'll come to WeChat in a minute, but with Alipay, you can use this to pay in almost any and everywhere. So from taxes to like buying things in the stores, or even like just the markets. So they all have Alipay. So you can just connect your local cards, bank cards to it, and then you can use that to pay easily just by scanning the QR code, which all of the stores usually have already waiting for you. So you can use that to pay. So that's very, very, very extremely important. Alipay or any payment platform that works in China. So you can do some research. Do you want to tell us a bit about WeChat and what the issues were with getting it?
So WeChat is fantastic because it combines payment and chatting. However, if you're first time subscriber or if you're first time you are downloading WeChat, you need it to be authenticated by someone who is already using it and hasn't authenticated for anyone in the past 1 month. So that was a bit difficult for us because we didn't know anyone who could help us authenticate it, and you need to be by the person while they're authenticated. Now the good part with WeChat is it's a system that combines payment, like we said, so you could it works somewhat like Alipay. Also, if you're chatting with someone in Mandarin, you can chat in English, they get it in Mandarin, and they send you the message in Mandarin and you get it in English.
Yeah, so that could also serve as your translator app.
Also, you either want to get an eSIM or you want to get a local SIM in China. We went with the eSIM option and it was fantastic. We actually went for Airalo. This is not sponsored, by the way, but Airalo worked perfectly fine whilst we were in China.
Yes, and you don't if you're going with a group or with someone, you don't all have to like get your individual apps. You can sort of share hotspots. So I actually so the VPN, for instance, I got it's the same login on my phone, but I think it also comes like free for 30 days. Thereabouts. And then also like if you're in terms of like internet and all of that, all the eSIM, you don't have to like each have your individual ones. You can sort of maybe share hotspots, which comes in very handy. And sometimes obviously some website, because they're restricted, so you're not able to access them except you have a VPN. Actually, I had an experience. Someone sent me a link to a website which a US website, and it just showed on WhatsApp that message is downloading. So maybe now it's fine because now we're in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong doesn't have as many restrictions, but there are also some things to actually note about Hong Kong, so maybe we can just throw that in as a bonus and towards the end of this video. But still on China, now I think moving away from like the apps, the number two thing to note is that things that we found surprising. In China, is first and foremost they are squatting toilets. So,
otherwise known as pit latrine.
yes, or Shalanga. Good idea. Okay, so we found it so surprising that China, bizarre, yeah, I think that China, being as developed as it is, we know it's a communist country, but still it's very developed country, and we just found it really amusing that a lot of the toilets when you're out and about, so apart from the hotel was fine, it was just like the standard toilet, but like everywhere, like from like think about like from your McDonald's to like the nicer places,
to malls,
to like we went to where like, because we're doing a lot of furniture shopping, and so some of the iron furniture stores that we went to, like the toilets in there, there were also like squatting toilets. Now what some of them would have is both, so the squatting toilet and your standard like sitting toilet, but literally when you say squatting toilet, it's just like a pit latrine like on the floor, and it was just so bizarre. Like initially the very first one I went, as I said, the hotel was fine, it was just standard. So when we went out, and I think the first time I used the public toilet, or the general toilet was in McDonald's, and then I was so shocked, and like I went in, came out, and I was like, surely there's another one, like I made the wrong place, and I opened another door, but it turned out like that was the store, so I had to go back in because I was quite pressed and I had to use it, and I was just so surprised, and I took a video of it to come show Shay, and then Shay was like, oh, like it went in there as well, and it was the same for the guys as well.
And especially coming from Thailand, that have nicer toilets, I think China generally, they don't pay too much attention to the details on the toilet. It's just bare basic.
Yeah, so don't be alarmed when you see like squatting toilets all around. So you might want to plan your toilet trips if possible to when you can get like
and
sitting
take
toilets.
tissue with yourself.
Yes, a lot of them, they were like, I'd run out of tissues. I don't know if it's just the timing that we went, but a lot of them were not very nice, and it wasn't very nice to use, so apart from when we were in the hotel, which was good. So that's number one thing to know.
Number two thing to know.
Oh, number three, actually, we've done. So the first one was the apps.
Oh, okay.
Second one is this toilet.
So number three is the fact that I don't think people in China understand the concept of personal space. Like they are in your space, and this is me.
And they don't even flinch.
Yeah, and this is me where I don't, I'm fine with people in my space, but this was too much. Like they would come so close to you, we're standing on the queue, they would push you, there's just no regard for personal space.
Yeah.
And
I remember like we were waiting to cross the road, so we were just waiting for the light to turn green. And then there was a man, he wasn't a young boy, he was a man, like maybe like 40s, 50s.
Literally pushed me out of the way.
Pushed Shay. At first, like it moved so close to him, and Shay had turned like to see what, and I wasn't even looking. And the next thing, he just moved Shay out of the way. He hadn't even turned green, and he just walked over. So it's not like he did it and like turned and said sorry, or just no, he just kept on walking up. And it wasn't even like he did it angrily because I was behind and I could see. So it wasn't even like he thought, I've just done so, I'm just in a bad mood. No, he just felt like, oh, that's just normal business to them, and it's just so weird. Like, and then I think sort of following on that like topic of personal space is just, well, I guess not really personal space. Some of the mannerisms, we found them a bit bizarre. So mannerisms when it comes to like, should I say hygiene? I'm not saying they're dirty.
Probably more of hygiene and etiquette.
Yeah, I think maybe etiquette is what it will fall under. So things like
sneezing
without covering your mouth, just out there. You could be. There was another guy that he said spat right in front of you.
Yeah,
just walking.
I was turning the corner and he was also turning the corner, and he just took the phlegm in and brought it out, and right just in front of my foot. No sorry, no excuses. It just moved on.
Yeah, and then like literally just like like doing it loudly in a public space. Like we went to like a market-ish type mall, and then there was a guy that he just was it called for like phlegm or something, or sneezed or something, and then we moved on, and then we're like in the store next to where he was, and then as we're in that store we heard it again, and whilst they're doing all of this, they're not covering their mouth or doing anything, so it's just.
Oh, by the way, at breakfast, sorry to cut you, someone sneezed over the platter of fruit. Literally just, and I knew I was done with fruits for that day.
Yeah, but I make this video is making it sound like we don't like China. It's not that we don't like China.
It's things that we found.
Things that we found.
Yeah.
interesting and surprising, should we
Yeah.
say. So secondly as well is we didn't have too much of this, but it's like we were in Guangzhou. We're in Guangzhou. Anyway, and we got on the flight. So we were in Thailand. So we went from Bangkok to, was it Bangkok? Yeah. So we went from Bangkok to Guangzhou, and then so we're only 2 black people on the entire flight.
Yeah.
As soon as we go, like, we're getting so many stairs to the point of like the guy, because it was a 3-seater, and the guy sitting next to Shay sat in the middle. The guy was on the aisle and I was by the window, and then the guy just literally asked to take pictures. Even when she started sleeping off, I wasn't sleeping. He started taking a picture, then she woke up, and we slept off. Both of us slept off eventually, and I feel like they must have taken more pictures of us as well. So I felt like, for me personally, I felt a little uncomfortable being like, usually like we're the only like black people like in the places that we've been to, apart from when we went to like a black like the beauty exchange center where they sell wigs, and there it's pretty much I could as well be in Lagos or something. But like in other areas, I don't know, I just didn't feel too comfortable with the stairs, almost to a little bit of feeling unsafe. I don't know why I felt that way. I just didn't feel comfortable. I'm not one that is always looking for like black people, I'm really not, but for me it just felt slightly unsafe. That I was thinking like, I wouldn't want to be on a solo trip by myself in a place like this with the language barrier. The language barrier is a big deal, like a super big deal here. So you definitely need to know your way around or
learn some Mandarin.
Yeah, I think for us it was helpful because we had a concierge. So because we went like shopping for furniture, we had concierge taking us around in cars or whatever. So it was only like later when we traveled by ourselves that we kind of experienced more of this. But even at that, I felt slightly uncomfortable. Shay on the answer, they didn't feel uncomfortable being like the only black person.
I don't see
in
color.
most places. Well, not like I said, I just felt like so you make it look like I'm looking out for color. I don't, like, I'm really not one of those that like my people, let's go black now. Like, but I just felt like to slightly.
I mean, on that topic, we had a lot of young kids coming to say hello, hi.
Actually, a lot of them will just like stare so much and then they'll say hello, which is nice. Like rather than just keep staring. And I was like, hi.
Staring was a thing. They stare.
The stare again. I think it's because of skin color. They probably don't see a lot of black people.
No, but
and I think they're also very much to themselves, so they probably don't travel a lot.
Possibly.
Yeah, and maybe again it's the area where, as I said, where Guangzhou, maybe with Beijing or Shanghai or like all those bigger cities will be different.
Foshan was fine. Sorry, it was Foshan that we had more of this. In Guangzhou, I think there were more colored people, or there were more races.
Yeah, I just remembered something else to be aware of. China, I think, not just China, maybe Thailand as well, but China seems to be like the capital of copy goods.
Oh yeah, copy.
So when we went to the market, like a fashion, we actually went to the Guangzhou Beima garment market. And every second they turn, they bring their phones and they're saying, "Oh, do you copy?" Like, so they're saying like copy of like
of designer brands
like your Fendi, Dior, Chanel, stuff like that on the bags. So they don't have their store, though they have their stores, but they're hiding it because obviously it's illegal. They shouldn't be selling copy products. So they have their phones and they just like whispering, not really whispering, copy, and then showing you pictures of the stuff on their phone, and we're like, no, and they keep following that. So like, it was so much of it that day, like all around, because it was quite a big area of like shopping, and it was quite overwhelming almost.
Quite massive. That's potentially one of the biggest markets of
it's like a market, a mall, everything. So there's indoor, outdoor. It goes from one building to the next across the road.
The building we were in was so massive, we couldn't see the end of the building.
Yeah, it was 10 floors.
And it was only over 10 floors. Just
we only did 1 and 3, maybe. I don't know if it was 1 to 3, and we left.
But they had good stuff.
But you have to be patient, like go through it.
And the things that weren't copy were good.
Beware of like the copy goods, and know that it's legal as well. And also for those that buy copy goods and you're traveling, you know that there is a potential of getting stopped by the police. And it is a crime, so don't buy copy goods.
Especially in some European countries and in the US, you should beware.
Guys, I wish I could show you our view, and I'm just watching a helicopter like go past, but the lighting is not good to show you, but it's so nice. Anyway, that's by the way.
What else about China? There are a lot of people in China. You probably know this from your.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like there were so many. Like, we didn't feel excessive to me.
Well, when we were in certain places, yes, it did.
Yeah, for me, I think it was fine. Okay, I think that brings us to the end of this video about the things we liked in China. I say all that, but honestly, like being in China, I just kept on feeling like pinching, like I'm actually in China. Like it actually felt like that. I was like, oh my god, like I know I've said this. I'm always sound like a broken record at this point, but I didn't really start. I only got on my first flight when I was 18, and that was just, and then the next flight was like 7 years later. So it wasn't like I started traveling, but like in terms of like fully traveling, we started in 2021, and then to now I've been to 37 countries. In a couple of days it will be 38 countries. And it's just, for me, it's surreal. So like being in China, I'm just like, oh my god, like this little girl from Ipaja, Lagos.
Village girl.
City boy. This little girl has been to our spaces. So I'm so grateful to God, like, for the opportunity. Would I go to China again? Absolutely. There's so much business opportunities there, so much. Very industrious. I think they're very hardworking as well.
Yeah, they're extremely hardworking
and industrious.
And I think something about China is so massive. So when you want to go, choose a place you want to go. For me, I'm a tech person, and I really missed out on going to a particular city where all the AI, robots, and all of that was. So I'm definitely coming back to China.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got Beijing, Shanghai, and all these other nice places on our list. Even Guangzhou, we're definitely going to be back.
One final thing.
By God's grace.
Immigration in China is a law. You've got to prepare. When I say law, they go through a lot of checks and all of that, and you've got to make sure you have the right visa or you have the right permit to be there, and prepare. Plan for time,
and if I can just run through very quickly what is required. Again, this is filmed in January 2026. Things may have changed by the time you're watching this, but if you have a British passport, a UK passport, you can get up to 240 hours visa free permit, like a transit visa, or transit visa permit, but you basically need to, you can't just book a trip to China and back. You're transiting through, but it's almost like still like an interview, but you just get that at the point of entry, so you don't need to do anything prior to get it. So that's nice. But yeah, all right, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Bye.